Yeah, and sell your service.
I would piss people off. No, I'm serious. I would piss people off. I would find out who is my target.
Hello everyone. So today I'm going to meet Dan Henry. For context, he's a multi-millionaire and he's probably one of the best internet marketers of the world. I have been consuming his content for quite a while now, like for almost 1 year or so. I also bought some of his stuff, like I read a small part of his first book, which is Digital Millionaire Secrets, and he recently launched a new book which is named as No Funnel Strategy. I bought that book and I read it completely. I found a lot of value in that, and I also find a lot of value in his content. And one of the fact that I love most about him is he's one of the best speakers in the world. Like when he speaks, he's one of the most engaging persons in the world, and I really want to learn that skill from him. I also have jotted down some of the questions that I want to ask from him, and let's see if I'm able to ask those questions or not. And I hope so. It will be a great session. And for context, he recently put a story on his Instagram, and he told that he's going to come to Lahore for a small meet and greet, and no local influencer has promoted that until now. So I hope it will be a small group of people, and I am really excited to go there, and hopefully I'll get a chance to ask some of the questions and get a lot of value from whatever he's going to do there. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to record a lot of clips in the way and in the session also, because we were already too late, and in the session my concentration was to get value from the content, and I just didn't hold my phone to record all of the stuff because it was probably of 4 to 5 hours, right? But I recorded one of the videos in which I have asked a question from Dan that I wanted to ask. But I had 4 questions to ask, but there were a lot of people that had a lot of questions. So I had to keep it short. And yeah, I'm going to show that clip here and enjoy that. Dan, first of all, thank you so much for coming here and giving us this opportunity to ask questions.
You're welcome.
I've been following you for some time now, and yesterday I bought your book, the No Funnel Strategy, and read it. So I had a couple of questions that I want to ask from you.
Which is the most important? The first?
Yeah, the first one. So if you were starting from scratch and you had to use organic content in order to acquire clients, so how would you go about creating content, because you have no credibility and you have all this imposter syndrome inside you, and you don't feel like making content because you are not expert at anything? So how would you tackle that?
So what you're asking is, if I was starting over from scratch, how would I grow organic traffic? How would I grow on social as fast as possible?
Yeah, and sell your service.
I would piss people off. No, I'm serious. I would piss people off. I would find out who is my target customer, what is the thing they hate, and then talk about that so that I get as many of my non-ideal customers chitter chatter. Let me give you an example. I recently released a reel that has 7 million views. Yeah, anybody seen it? Okay, it's my wife. My son's got his phone, and we're walking down the street, and this just happened organically. I said, hey, do you want to record a reel? And he's like, yeah, sure. Or I said, do you want to record a video? And he's okay. So he's walking down the street, me and her walking, she's in Nikabi, which, by the way, that's her thing. She was Nikabi before I married her. I didn't ask for that enough. Good job with the parent sheets, I'm fine. But he goes, Dad, the big black ghost is my mommy, and the businessman is my dad. Okay? That was it. 7 million views. Okay? Why? Because the friggin' sight of a woman in a hijab just, I don't know why, but it just makes questioners so angry. Okay? Yeah, they're just so angry. You know? They're like, you know, I have to comment and be angry. Okay? And so you've read the book, right?
Yeah.
To make content go viral as soon as possible, it has to have one of the 4 C's. It has to have curiosity, meaning it's incredibly curious. It has to have contrast, meaning two things that don't normally go together now go together. A white dude with a tattoo and a niqabi not go together. Sorry, they don't. But for some reason, they're together. Okay? And the third one is conflict. Any sort of disagreement of values or ideals. This is why if you've ever seen a fight, how many of you have seen a viral video of two people getting into a fight in the street? Almost all of them go viral. Because people like to see conflict. What about when, you all know Jordan Peterson? Or what about, I forget his name, but the brother that argues with Christians in the street. What is it? Yeah, I think so. And he's got like, I'm not narrowing it down, but he's got a beard. But goes viral because people like to see conflict. Okay, so curiosity, contrast, conflict, and then controversy. Anything that's talking about and don't confuse controversy with conflict. Conflict is two opposing ideals going at each other. Controversy is the discussion of a wider topic or ideal that it's like a very hot topic that people cannot decide on, versus conflict, which is two opposing ideals. Okay? And so, what did that reel have? It had contrast, because the white guy with the tattoo and the niqabi do not go together, but for some reason they're together. It had curiosity, because they're thinking, well, why is this 6-year-old walking so far behind his parents, shooting this reel? Well, because we're in Dubai, there's no crime, and I don't have to worry about somebody snatching the kid. But most people don't know that. It has a little bit of conflict, because even though it was not a big deal, my son is obviously saying something out of young ignorance. We do this a lot in my family. She calls herself Ninja and all this stuff. It's just like a fun thing, But it was funny, there were some brothers who got mad about it. And I'm like, brother, like, he's 6. Like, what are you doing, And then, and curiosity as well, like, what is this? Why is it? And there was a big Hulk statue. So it's like almost all 4 C's in one. So if you can figure out how to get one or especially more into a reel or into a piece of content, it has a higher chance of going viral. And so what I would do is I would think, okay, I'll give you an example. When I first started my how to create an ad agency course, you know how I got a lot of traffic? I said, listen, you're young, I can show you how to make more money and do a better job than these old guys who pay $10,000 for their Infusionsoft certification. And what did that do? That made them angry. And they cheered, boy, they hated me. But I wasn't selling to them, because they're not gonna buy a how to start an ad course. Because they're old. They've been doing it for 20 years. But if I can talk to them back, they'll give me the engagement. So, look, maybe it's not the most professional way to do it, but man, if I need to feed my family, I would just think, what is the opposite of what my customers like? And let me just talk smack about it, because they'll align with me, they'll love me, because there's no greater way to create bond than to have a common enemy. That's an old Dan Kennedy principle. And then, if it has those things, it goes viral. So that's what I would do.
So, last question. So, this is all part of growth content, but if you had to talk about
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so that's all you talked about is part of growth content to bring people in your funnel, right?
Well, no, that's not necessarily bring people in your funnel. That's to gain followers and people who see you, and then you have the call to action posts, which are very simple. Like, I always like to draw association. So I made a post the other day, and I said, like, there's this. I'll give you 2 examples. One, I said there's this guy that Dan. He figured out a way to make money online, eating chicken wings. And I showed the stats, and then I said, listen, I figured out how to make money with AI. And if you'd like to learn, comment this word, and then I chat bot down the link to the website. Another example, this was great. This is like, guys, there's so much inspiration for content, you have no idea. I was at the Dubai Illusion City with my family. And they had they had this one illusion where it was a spigot, it was like a faucet with water, and it looked like it was suspended in air. So it looked like the water was coming out from nowhere. And so I took my phone and I recorded it for like 10 seconds. And you see it and you're like, how is that possible? So then what I did was I took it and I made a reel and I just went, I just showed it for a second and I said, how did they do this? I let it play for 5 seconds and then I came on after and I said, listen, I don't know how they do that, but I can tell you how to make money with AI, okay? Blah, 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 blah. I can't tell you how to do that, but what I can tell you is how to make money with AI. If you want to learn how, comment this word. And he got thousands of views and we got like hundreds of leads. And it was just something I saw. I just, that's interesting. You have to look for things. You have to for instance, where's my phone? Taha, you got my phone? Here, bring me my phone. I'll do it right now. You have to look for inspiration in everyday life. Because there's so much you think you're missing. So right now I'm in the room. So if I take a picture.
Overall, the session was fantastic and it was better than I expected it to be. I expected that Dan would come here and he would answer some of our questions and there would be a small meet and greet and then he would leave. But he stayed there for almost 5 hours and for first 2 hours he gave us a speech and there were a lot of golden nuggets that I found in that speech. And for you guys, I'm gonna explain my top 3 key takeaways from that meeting and I believe that it was worth going there. So first of all, Dan said that you have to invest in yourself, you have to become valuable. He said, I don't care wherever you are you from third world country or first world country, if you make yourself valuable, you are going to make money. You are not going to struggle to pay your expenses. Sorry, my phone got stuck there for a moment. Coming back to the point, when he said you should become valuable and invest in yourself, he meant that you should learn some high income skills. Because if you want to earn money, nobody is going to come and hand you over the money. You should be able to get your money, and that is only possible by learning something valuable that you can do for other people. And one of the examples that he gave us was one of the best earners in the world don't earn by working through their hands. They earn by working through their mind because they know what to do, right? The second key takeaway from the event was that he told us that you should learn what to say, because wherever you are right now and wherever you want to be, the gap exists only because you don't know what to say when a conversation happens. So he gave us the example that a lot of people struggle to sell their $1,000 or even $2,000 service, but he sells almost $50,000 program. And the way he does that, he convinces the potential customer that it is costing them probably $1 million per year to not know what he has to offer. So he said that learning what to say is the most valuable skills, and you should be able to learn how a human mind behaves and what triggers them to act in a certain way. That is the most important skill to learn. And my third key takeaway from the event was that he told us that you don't teach someone, you have to shift their perspectives. You have to shift the way how they think about a certain thing. He gave us the example that in school, when we were studying, who were the teachers that we liked the most? The ones that made us believe differently, that made us think differently, that changed our perspectives, that made things simpler for us, right? So he told us that don't talk about the bullet points about the things, like if you are expert at anything, don't tell them the action items or bullet points of what you know. Make them believe in a certain way and change their perspectives through storytelling. That is the most effective way to make someone buy from you, right? So these are all of the key takeaways that I had from this event. I hope you will get a lot of value from that. And if you have any questions, comment that below, and also don't forget to leave feedback on the comment section as well. Bye bye.